We've been keeping up with various rain totals across Connecticut through our network of neighborhood weather stations. Behind me, you'll see Kent already at over 2/10 of an inch of rain. And rain is becoming steadier and heavier as it continues to work its way in from western Connecticut to eastern Connecticut. Almost 1/10 of an inch in East Granby and Wolcott. Still at 2/100 of an inch in Storrs, a little bit farther east. But that will soon change. Temperatures are in the 40s. First Alert Live Radar is Connecticut's only live radar. There's steady, moderate rain ongoing. These reds and yellows that you see do indicate some moderate rain, but it also shows a bit of a melting layer. So high up in the atmosphere where the temperatures are colder, there actually is a bit of frozen precip. Of course, all of that is melting before it actually reaches the ground. This is something we call bright banding. But from New Milford, Washington to Bantam, Torrington up 202 to Route 8 and out 44 toward Avon, we're beginning to see the radar fill in some steadier rain from New Britain to Burling, Cromwell, Middletown down to Haddam now, and showers developing near Norwich up the 395 corridor, impacting portions of Windham to Brooklyn, and eventually we will continue to see Tallinn and Windham counties fill in with steadier rain too. We expect the heaviest overnight tonight. Here's our storm system really getting going. Look at this loop over the last 6 hours. So here's the progression of the rain, but something that we are watching, at least not necessarily for us, but to our west, is this batch of heavier rain that's impacting northern New Jersey. This could actually lead to some localized flooding to our west, but we expect it to weaken as it makes its way here, but we're still anticipating things to be very wet tonight. A live look at our iCam in Torrington. Here it is. Not much to talk about just yet. Visibility remains quite good across northwestern Connecticut. And here's a live look at our iCam right now in Middletown. Some of the fog has lifted a bit, which is great news. It has, of course, been replaced by rain, so visibility is still not great, but actually an improvement over where we were earlier this evening, and especially over the last 24 hours. Visibility up above 5 miles for most of the state. Temperatures holding steady, perhaps even rising a degree or two over the next several hours. Rain icons for every single hour as rain continues to be heavier and steadier. First Alert Futurecast showing the heaviest rain building in just after, say, 1 o'clock. By 2 a.m., we've got heavy rain moving through. Here's 5 a.m. drying out rapidly from west to east. We cleared the 395 corridor before 9 o'clock, so minimal impacts to the morning commute, which is great news. But the downside is we keep these scattered showers around through the rest of the afternoon. So while we move the steadiest rain away, it's still not going to be a dry day. We're expecting rainfall amounts about 1 to 1.5 inches across the shoreline. And in southeastern Connecticut, we could even see a couple of towns approach the 2-inch range. So that'd be closer to, say, the Thames River and east. About a ½ inch to an inch the farther north and west you go, especially approaching the Litchfield Hills. Stark cutoff and where some of the heaviest rain falls. We're expecting inland temperatures tomorrow to top out in the 40s. Here's the rain icon. Again, not a washout, but scattered showers continue. At the shoreline tomorrow, we'll see some lower 50s. Low pressure moves away as the parent low moves closer, helping develop this secondary coastal storm system into Saturday morning. So that means that we deal with rain showers on Friday and then again on Saturday morning. So scattered showers tomorrow, all rain. These showers later Friday into Saturday could even mix a couple of flurries in across the northwestern hills. No impact expected. Highs will be in the 40s both Friday and Saturday. New Year's Eve, Sunday, mostly sunny. We're back in the 40s. And by New Year's Day on Monday, we're in the 40s with partly sunny skies. Dry weather persists as we begin 2024. Stephanie, it's nice to see some sunshine on the way, but we still have some rain to get through first.
Yes, we do need to dry out at some point, Mike. Thank you.